Hi, my name is Mustafa Al-Adhami, and I am the CEO and co-founder of Astek Diagnostics. A couple of years ago, my grandfather had a UTI, and it took doctors 4 days to tell him what antibiotic he should be taking. He was in pain, he was delirious, and worst of all, he ended up falling, and he became a much older 87-year-old. And that's why I founded Astek Diagnostics. We have developed a system that can determine antibiotic sensitivity in 1 hour. Our first panel is the urine panel, and it is set to be released in 2025. We have a universal machine that can virtually test any type of sample. So the goal here is to create a machine, and all you have to do is add modules to process the different samples to get the antibiotic sensitivity for these infections. Every single year, over 8 million Americans develop a UTI, but everyone gets the same treatment, the same antibiotics. And 47% of the time, these antibiotics are not going to work. So patients have to deal with these complications like pain and, worst of all, sepsis. Sepsis is the leading cause of death in US hospitals, and 25% of all sepsis cases originate as UTIs. The underlying problem here is cultures take about 3 to 4 days. And in the meantime, physicians have to guess what antibiotic these patients need. They rely on dipsticks to confirm there's an infection, but dipsticks, they have a specificity of less than 50%, which means pretty much they always come back positive. Our solution is the JIDDU system. In 1 hour, we determine whether there is an infection, what the bacterial concentration is, and finally, we know what antibiotic the patient should be treated with. Everything is in 1 hour. Everything is direct from patient samples without a culture. This is a point of care test. It's very easy to use, and it is cost effective. To put things in perspective, we're going to sell this instrument for $10,000. Comparable instruments like the T2 Biosystem is over $100,000. For every test you need a cartridge. It's $50 per cartridge. It costs us $17 to build one, and we expect reimbursement to be about $100. So it's a win for us. It's a win for our customer, and most importantly, the patient is getting the proper antibiotic without the need for guesses. We got our first pilot in 2022. We had about 82% accuracy, and since then we've been inching up. So in general population hospitals, we're over 95%. And for the most complicated population that we will ever encounter, which is patients with neurogenic bladder syndrome, it's over 92%, which is really significant for this technology. We have a portfolio of patents around this technology, ranging from the way that we know there is bacteria, how much bacteria there is, to shortening this test. This test existed, but it took 8 hours, so we were able to make it 15 minutes with some microfluidic techniques. And we developed reagent mix that's able to make things even faster for the very slow-growing bacteria that are usually not detectable. And finally, the way we modify our cartridges is very innovative. We thought it should be protected. We are a Y Combinator company. We also are backed by Johnson & Johnson J Labs. We have received funding from the NSF, FDA, BARDA, NIH, and Maryland Industrial Partnerships. We're backed by great investors, Anna Capital, Wexford, Harvard. Our R&D partner invested, many notable angel investors. I co-founded the company with Kevin Tran, and since then we've been able to surround ourselves with very experienced, very smart individuals like our CSO, Chris. He has 20 years of experience in microbiology. Scott O'Brien was the Chief Commercialization Officer for Genmark and Specific Diagnostics. In total, we're 8 full-time employees, but we expect that to change as we approach market release. And together we need to raise money. So currently we are raising $15 million at a $30 million pre-money valuation. All of these investments are eligible for 33% back from the Maryland biotechnology tax credit, which is pretty cool. In short, in 2.5 years, we raised $6 million. We're able to build this prototype. We have an alpha prototype that works like the intended product. We just need to develop feasibility, build a beta, and take that to market, and that's why we're raising $15 million at this time. Thank you.